Hello, this is Dane Takahashi from VentureBeat. I'm here with Jeff Hahn from Perceptive Pixel, and we're at the Emerging Displays conference, and we've got some very interesting touchscreen technology here. So you've got a 27-inch display here.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Jeff.
Yeah, this is, we just debuted this brand new technology about 3 months ago. This is literally the most advanced multi-touch desktop display right now on the market. It's 2560 by 1440. We've been in secret developing our new ProCap controller, which is order of magnitude better than the nearest competitor right now. It allows us to do full, true, hundreds of fingers multi-touch. Fingernail sensitivity, it's one of my favorite metrics here. So you can not only use your big fingers, but you can go like that. We actually have usable pseudo-force information out of the thing. The great thing about this display is that the sensor glass is actually optically bonded together. So ProCap is actually pretty easy. It's the same kind of technology that you have on your iPhone.
Projected capacitive.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. ProCap is projected capacitive. It's very much a similar type of technology that pretty much all the phones have standardized on, all the slates. The problem is that it's pretty trivial to do it around this size, but to make it big is actually difficult. So we actually cracked that nut and figured out how to make projected capacitive that get that same iPhone, iPad feeling, but big. This is 27 inches in diagonal.
Yeah. I think we're all used to sort of displays that are kind of inaccurate as well. I mean, the ones that are maybe slow, you have to swipe your hand across it a few times. I mean, some of the lesser quality phones, I guess, are that way, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I shouldn't even make such a blanket term. There's such a wide quality range, even in projected capacitor or capacitive sensors in general. We're very much in the professional market. Our company is about how do these interfaces are useful to get real work done. So we need to have that same super high level of fidelity, 120 hertz sampling rates, no matter how many fingers are down, and it just works. It's not sluggish. Our company is also unique because we're not really a hardware company. We're more like a software company. We develop not just this awesome sensor, but the entire stack up has to be really good in order to get the good experience. So it's not just the fact that the sensor, which this is raw data here, is highly responsive. It's what kind of applications can we actually, we make an entire software stack that's above the hardware.
So this just from looking at it looks far more responsive than a typical iPad, I guess.
That's right. And we care about those things. So if you actually pay attention to actually improving the user experience, you can actually make products of this high fidelity level, and it's really worth it. This display is not only so gorgeous, you can tell what's really cool about this is that there's no parallax, there's no gap between the top of the sensor glass and the image itself. It's really, really there. Most other lower quality displays space apart the sensor glass so much that you're not really touching what you're seeing. And so we've been able to actually do this while bonding the glass together so that the parallax is essentially zero. And it allows you to make these gorgeous, rich interfaces because with an optically bonded display, you have this deep contrast ratio. It really feels like a display that the blacks are black and the brightness goes through it because you don't have any inner reflections between the sensor glass and the display itself.
So we're in a very bright place here, but it still looks very good.
That's right, I know. I mean, this is actually, optical bonding is something that's a very exotic and high-end technique that's primarily used to make a display readable and outdoors. We kind of get the incidental benefits of it. We basically wanted to do this more for the parallax, the usability issue, but it is nice that we also get the benefits of bonding at the same time.
And you can do this same kind of screen with 82 inches now.
That's right. Yeah. So last week, I'm so excited. Only 3 months ago, we launched a 27-inch version of this. Last week, we debuted the 82-inch version of this. It's literally like 3 times as big as it's in both dimensions, and it's also optically bonded, so it's gorgeous. The same zero parallax, and everything software-wise, and everything just works. By having complete control of the stack, we can guarantee a good user experience and really great performance of the whole thing.
That's very Steve Jobs-like, I guess.
It's not a bad model to operate under. A lot of companies can learn a lot by following and understanding. There are way too many companies that treat hardware as an afterthought or software as an afterthought from these other companies.
So you're pushing the edge on a lot of things. You've got software-defined radio in here as well, I guess?
Yeah, so one of the reasons why we were able to do this so quickly is because we basically treat this whole thing, if you think about the way projected capacitance works, it's very similar to a lot of things that radio has to do. And instead of making a hard-coded kind of radio, we did a lot of it in software. And that's why a small company like us was able to iterate very quickly on making a our own novel projected capacitive controller out of nothing, is because most of us are actually software guys, and we actually said if we can bring it into the digital domain as soon as possible, then we can actually work on these algorithms software very quickly without actually having to spin the silicon or the hardware again and again.
And you can show us some maps here, right?
Yeah, so this is just one of the data types that we support. We have all of our usual favorite types like this. Nice 4-degree of freedom map, which is really cool. If I over-constrain it, I can move it. This has 1 degree of freedom, I can flick through it. If I over-constrain it, I can move it this way. So very cool stuff like that. Bring up a 4-finger gesture like that. Bring up annotation. Things cool like stuff like that.
Cool.
It's just such a great. I'm just so excited about this device.
So what kind of things are people using these for then? Like,
we developed this display as part of our market. We work a lot in government, geointelligence, other high-end applications, energy exploration, places where it's really critical to have an uncompromised display and uncompromised performance. We like to work there and then let it trickle downward. So we work at the high end and work our way downward. What was really so nice and kind of expected, but it's happening faster than I thought, is that, especially at SIGGRAPH, we showed this to, of course, animators and artists, especially with the stylus that we just announced, and they're just going nuts for it. They've been screaming for, real great content creators have been screaming for a solution like this. So we're really, we're about 5 years old. We've always promised that we wouldn't be just stuck at the high end and just stay kind of esoteric. We are marching our way downward in volume, and higher in volume and lower in price and accessibility.
So something like this is still maybe 10,000 or so, and then your 82-inch might be $100,000.
That's the rough thing. I'm not a sales guy, but that's of course none of that. All those prices can come down in volume very quickly.
So you can see a path to where this is going to get to the mass market at some point.
Yes. As a matter of fact, we're having. Can't tell you everything right now, but there's a lot of excitement building about this because, frankly, this shouldn't be considered too high end. Consumers, once they get a taste of ProCap on a smaller device like this, they basically want it everywhere. We developed this ProCap controller because basically the new standard was really high fidelity projected capacitance, and it should be available at all sizes, and people are going to demand this level of fidelity with the optical content.
Cool. Thank you very much. That's Jeff Hahn from Perceptive Pixel. Thank you.